Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Level 1 podcast. Today is Monday, the 8th of July, 2024. I'm DSP, and I welcome you here to the show. Now, a few quick things before we begin. First of all, today is a one-stream day here on the channel, meaning there is only one stream for the entirety of the day. There will not be a second stream tonight. And if you say, well, I don't understand, Phil, why? Are you cutting back on streaming? Are you getting lazy? Do you have important appointments? Well, kind of. I'm getting lazy. That's the answer. Actually, my camera's off. I just noticed. I must have bonked. Yeah, I must have bonked it. That's better. Yep, that's much better. Yes, I'm getting incredibly lazy, so I'm only going to do one stream from now on. No, just kidding. Patrons. My patrons this month were generous. 3 different people have commissioned patron private react videos this month to be made. And so I'm taking all of tonight when I normally would be doing a late night stream of gameplay, excuse me, to film all of these private patron react videos, upload them, and get them to their appropriate parties. So since that's the case, I will not be doing a late stream tonight, okay? And I'm sorry to that. You know, some of you get upset when I don't stream, saying, how dare you? What's going on? I want content. I understand. I like making content for you guys, but this is just one thing that I do. If you're ever interested, if you want to check out my Patreon, I don't talk about it that much, but it's patreon.com/darksidefil. It's mostly a place for people who don't watch my live streams, so they're not here to contribute live, but still want to help out in some way, to do like a small pledge each month to help behind the scenes. But there are people who pledge big amounts. $50 earns you a private video, and it could be a private Q&A video. It could be a video where I talk about a specific topic that you request, or it could actually be a React video. And in this case, I have 3 different React things to do tonight. And so no stream tonight, all right? So that's number 1. Number 2, even though today is only one stream, it's going to be a heck of a stream, because today I am exclusively playing with M. Bison in ranked in Street Fighter 6, and I am seeking to take him to the moon. The moon. That's the moon. That's the celebratory moon symbol. The moon. Okay? Yeah, I would say now, after having played with Bison about a week and a half, he is definitely my best character in Street Fighter 6. And I'm not just saying that. I mean, even Blanca, I feel like I'm good with Blanca, but I think that I'm doing better with Bison. I currently have more ranking points than I have ever had with any character in Street Fighter 6. I think it's because, number 1, Bison is an incredibly good character. Particularly, I think his damage output is a little bit crazy overpowered. Like, for example, doing a jumping medium punch juggle, landing, doing a standing heavy punch, which causes a ground bounce, level 1 super, does like 1/3 of the enemy's energy. It's insane for a simple combo like that to get that much damage. Is like, holy shit. So I really do feel like long term, if they're going to do anything to patch Bison, they will probably reduce his damage output. But outside of that, I just think that Bison clicks with me. I think the gameplay style with Bison, which is this mix of kind of mid-screen control, some rush down and mix up, and then reacting to what the enemy does and punishing. Like I said, that jumping medium punch juggle, that's directly taking advantage of an enemy that's really not paying attention to their jumping game or air game and getting a giant punish. And I love doing that. So I just think it works with my play style. And so he's definitely my best character. So today, the entire stream is going to be me playing M. Bison ranked in Street Fighter 6. Of course, I will do some warm-up matches. You know, I'll probably do 3 sets or so of casual play just to get back into the swing of things. Keep in mind, I haven't played Street Fighter 6 since Friday. You got to understand that most people who are at the level that I'm playing at are literally people who are playing every day, grinding, you know, getting into the groove of things. They don't take half weeks off so they don't get rust. Every time I play, I have rust. You know, I have to break that off before I can start getting into a smoother groove. Now, I have watched a few other top players. I saw Problem X, and I saw, I forgot the other guy's name. He starts with a K. I think he's Japanese, and I think he's like the number 1 ranked Bison. So I'm watching a few Bisons play, and some of the stuff that I'm seeing is very cool, and other stuff I'm like, damn, I wish I could do that, but I know I don't have the skill at this point to do it. So, for example, Problem X literally always hit confirms into OD scissor kick. And because of that, he almost never drive cancels. He just always OD scissor kicks, which uses less drive meter, but does about the same damage as if you were drive rushing and doing a combo. The problem is I just don't have the skill level to always be hit confirming every time I get a hit into OD scissors. I don't have that speed. You know what I mean? Maybe back in the day, but I just don't have it at 42 years old. Maybe I could get it if I keep playing with Bison, but I know I don't, you know? But I have seen a few cool things that I want to try out today. You know, if I land the scissor kick and it's a counter hit and you can do the combo instead of doing a combo into another scissor kick, which is kind of easy, instead combo into the hands, which then gives a mind charge. If they're in the corner and I have a mind charge, try to mix it up with an overhead. If the overhead hits, it auto explodes and causes a corner juggle automatically, so you don't have to do the juggle yourself, which is kind of neat. You just land like a normal overhead and it turns into a big corner combo. So yeah, like I've seen these new techniques. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try these today, right? But it's also about muscle memory, and learning things based on doing rather than seeing. Like, I know that there's optimal combo paths that I'm not using because I don't have the muscle memory to do it. It's a little bit tougher than, say, medium, medium, medium. Instead, it's like medium, drive rush, back roundhouse, standing medium, low medium, a little different. I have to learn those through repetition and practice. And I think I will get them eventually. Like, I'm doing it in certain situations, but I'm not doing it in others. So, yeah. So, anyway, I tried to absorb more knowledge. I'm going to try to apply that knowledge today to my game. And yeah, so Escanor saying something incredibly stupid in chat. I thought videos were bad and ruining the game because everyone knows everything. Escanor, if I don't watch videos, I will be massively behind everyone else and will not be able to win a single match. My point is still valid. The game is way ahead of where I feel it should be because everyone shares everything with videos. But if I just sit here ignoring the videos, I would not win a match. So should I just sit here and nerf myself like an idiot because everyone else is doing something that I don't really like? I mean, that's really dumb what you just said. Well, you know, everyone advanced in baseball. They're all now using these composite bats that now hit the ball further. Well, I don't like composite bats, so I'm going to use a wood bat instead, a solid wood bat, and, you know, so I'll just hit shorter because I don't agree with the composite bats, right? Even though I'm trying to compete. It'd be one thing if I wasn't trying to compete. I'm trying to get better at the game. I'm trying to get my ranks up. So I'm going to have to research. It's the only way I'm going to be able to do it, right? Just because I say that back in the day it wasn't like that, and I feel that there was a whole, like, year or two of exploring and enjoying the game at an exploratory level, and that doesn't exist anymore. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to do the things to win today. It just means I kind of am sad that we don't have those exploratory years because they were super fun. You don't understand how it used to be before everything was on the internet immediately. To have all these different people from all over the world trying different strategies and coming together in tournaments and sharing. It was an awesome community competition feeling that you don't get anymore. It just doesn't exist. Day one, everyone's super serious. And that's kind of a big lost thing. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway. So today's main stream is all Street Fighter 6. And I'm ready. First of all, I'm purposefully wearing my lightest, loosest shirt. No lie. Like I said, man, when I play Street Fighter, my blood pressure skyrockets, right? Sometimes I'm like, oh, I can't see. So I know I need to have the coolest situation possible. So I'm actually wearing my nicest, most relaxed shirt today for maximum aeration. Okay? I've got eye drops. I've got a giant thing of water. I've got another thing of water. All right? I've already cleaned my joystick. I'm preparing everything in advance for a crazy dedicated, you know, master day. The last time I did a major stream that was, you know, Street Fighter was Tuesday of last week. And that was trying to get Bison to master rank, and we didn't. We had to pull that off on, on Friday, right? No, Thursday. We did Thursday? Or was it Monday of last week? No, that's right. I did do a major stream, and I got him to master on Thursday of last week. I'm so confused. My schedule got thrown off, and now I don't even know what day it is anymore. It's Monday today, right? Anyway, yes, I know it's going to be some rage-inducing stuff, but what I'm hoping is to take the breaks like I've been taking, and I need you guys to remind me to take breaks if I'm not taking breaks, because even if I'm on a win streak, okay, if I continuously go to the next match, the next match, the next match, the next match, I'm going to have problems. I'm going to start to get tilted as my blood pressure goes up and make mistakes. So I would much rather play like 3-4 sets and then take a break with you guys for a few minutes and relax and then go back, get that opportunity to let everything calm down first, right? Before I jump into the next stuff. So please remind me, I need the stream chat to have my back on this. You guys will help me out. If you see me getting tilted, say, hey, it's time for a break, right? Or even if I play 3-4 matches in a row and I'm doing good, I still need to take that break, because if I don't take it, it's just going to make me eventually play worse. And that's not going to be beneficial. I want to keep going. Today, I'm starting at 1,560 ranking points. Can I get higher? Can I break 1,600 today? Maybe. It depends. I would never been above 1,600 ranking points before. Can I do that? I don't know. We'll see. Can I continue to make gains and top my previous record? Will I maintain a positive win-loss ratio today? Right? I guess we'll see. I'll tell you this, though. The whole practice of if I play a first match, and that match either a lot of my inputs seem to be dropping and not responding properly, or I'm playing a fucking pattern cami, and that same bullshit pattern just beats me because it's fucking too hard to counter online, too much of a gamble game, right? It really is a guessing game. I'm just quitting out. I am not going to commit to doing a full set against anyone when I'm at a disadvantageous situation. I'm not going to play on an unequal playing ground and then lose points because of it. I will quit the fuck out. Keep in mind, almost every single person I'll be facing today will be on PC. And PC is the best version of this game, the least input delay, less dropped inputs. It's been proven PC is the best format for this game. I'm playing on PS5, which is second best. Yes, I've gotten rid of most of my input delay, but I'm still seeing lots of dropped inputs and issues. So if I see it, I'm getting the fuck out of there. I'm not going to throw away all my ranking points because the shit's not working. Okay? So far, that philosophy's worked. I gained 60 ranking points the other day, right? So hopefully we can keep that going today. We'll see. Now, this is my only stream for the day. So I'm going to say it now, and yes, you're going to hear me saying this over the course of the day, so get used to it. Please support the stream today. Since I'm only streaming once today, that means I'm trying to make an entire day's worth of profit and revenue in one stream. All right? That makes it tough, especially with Street Fighter, because when I'm playing Street Fighter, I don't have as much time to talk and interact with you guys. That makes it harder, because a lot of people like the fact that I do interactive streams, and they'll support the stream because they feel that social aspect, and you may not feel that social aspect as much today. However, today's podcast, okay, is going to be very social, because guess what? I've got no game news today. I really don't have much to say besides just reiterating the schedule. There's just not a lot going on the podcast today. So today in this segment right now in the morning, we can talk a little bit, whatever you guys want to discuss. We'll maybe do some suggestion box for the first time in a while. So this will serve as our giant chunk of big interaction on the stream. And then when I go to play Street Fighter, please understand it won't be as interactive, but I'll do my best to take those breaks and hang out with you guys in between a few sets. Okay? Fair enough? So please support the stream today. How can you do that? Super chats, super stickers, memberships, gifted memberships, and tips. Now, recently, there's been a lot of fake gifted memberships exploiting the whole VPN exploit on YouTube. People paying like $1 for like 50 memberships, which of course breaks the whole, system here, the whole economy on YouTube. I can't stop that. YouTube is claiming that they're going to eventually fix the problem. Right now, they're only fixing it after the fact, meaning if someone gifts a bunch of these memberships, they're erasing the memberships after a little bit of time when they detect them. What they're actually doing is they're checking to see if you have something you purchased or was gifted to you, but it's not of your region. So if you live in Great Britain, but you were gifted an Argentinian membership, they're going to see that and they're going to cancel the membership. Now, it might take them a while to do that because guess what? YouTube does everything with algorithms. So I guarantee you they're probably running algorithms that are behind, and after a week or two, they'll check and probably take away the memberships, right? That's what they claim they're doing with YouTube Premium. Because as bad as it is with channel memberships, the abuse is even worse on YouTube Premium. Because YouTube Premium subscriptions is what, like $18 a month? And people are getting them for less than $1. So YouTube is really pissed at this and are trying to crack down on it completely, okay? So, yes, sorry that all those went out and you may lose it. Nothing to do with me. It's just the stupid broken economy here on YouTube and people abusing it. I was wondering what was going on in my background. I said it doesn't look right. I guess the art got pushed back a little. Okay, But outside of that, everyone please consider supporting the channel in another way. As you know, any stream I do, I try to hit 50 bucks in tips. That's how I consider it. Oh, I did pretty good on this stream today. So if I hit 50 bucks in tips, I'm satisfied. But hey, it's only one stream today. If you really like my stuff and you want to go above and beyond, if we can hit, as if, you know, enough for 2 streams, hit the $100 goal, that'd be even better. And of course, if we do that, yes, I will put on the M Bison hat. Since it is M Bison stream, it would make sense to wear the M Bison hat, doesn't it? Okay. So please consider contributing today. Let's get the M Bison hat going. And by the way, the sooner the better. We get it done on the pre-show here on the podcast. Then we don't have to worry about shout-outs and the like during the actual gameplay. We can focus on it. By the way, if you haven't noticed, tons of new emotes in the chat recently. There's 2 different M Bison emotes. Me wearing this hat and me wearing a red M Bison hat. So 2 completely different Bison emotes to use today. So good stuff. Okay. All right. Very briefly, 2 things to cover. I want to recap yesterday. I want to talk about the schedule for today or the week, and then that's it. Then we'll just hang out. Okay. So yesterday was React Day. How did it go? Well, on the DSP versus the Internet Clip Show on DSP Reacts, it went pretty good. Yeah, it went pretty well, I would say. Oh, my nose itches. Good variety of clips. Some interesting clips. For sure. There was a whole clip about cats that was actually quite entertaining and funny, but also educational. Of course, there's controversial stuff in there, like the recent Supreme Court ruling and how that affects Donald Trump, and people want my opinions on that. You know, all kinds of stuff. So those clips will go live over the course of the week. I certainly hope that you will check them out. I think that there's, you know, it's a great show, a good variety show, and it's a place for me to talk about topics that normally I would never talk about on the show like this. Let's see here. Oh yeah, like life advice, like how this guy made a video called How to Ruin Your Life, and basically it's telling you exactly what not to do in life if you want to succeed. An exploration of the classic Xbox 360 dashboard, that was cool. All kinds of stuff. Like, I don't really want to go into massive detail about it, but a good variety of stuff. So please give it a look over on DSP Reacts. If you're a member over there, not only do you get access to the archive stream right away, but also you get to submit clips for next week's show. You're the people who actually get to submit clips every week that make that show up, okay? So consider it. Last night on DSP Throwback, we had what I would consider probably the best night I've had on DSP Throwback. And what I mean by that is I had such a good time. We finally hit the part of my original Dark Souls 1 playthrough during the Retro React stream. All the funny stuff happened. The famous clip where I said, I'm starting to get the hang of this, I'm liking this, and I walk right off a cliff and get murdered, right? That clip, the clip where I seem like I'm getting incredibly lucky. So I'm like one-shotting bosses and doing amazing, and then all of a sudden it all goes wrong. I fall down a hole, I get cursed, I realize that cursing halves your HP. I can't figure out how to remove the curse. I look up how to remove the curse, but it costs so many souls to do that I can't afford it. So then I go on a side jaunt to try to cure the curse, but then I end up dying a million times. It's so funny. And so last night I started basically saying, imagine how Miyazaki thinks when he's watching this on YouTube. Because you know he does. You know he goes to YouTube to seek out first-time Dark Souls players. He probably laughs at them when he sees them fucking fail and be tortured by this fucking gameplay mechanics of the first game. So I was dancing. I was having a ton of fun. We were cracking up last night. It was a really, really great stream of Dark Souls 1. So if you haven't seen it yet, check out the DSP Throwback channel. There's actually, if you use the Throwback command in chat, it'll give you the link. Man, it was super fun. If you're a member over there, you can archive you can access the archive stream right now. If you're not, well, then parts will go live every day. One part's live and then another part every night for the next 4 nights. It was really, really good stuff. So I hope that you guys will give it a look. Best, in my opinion, best retro React stream we've done. And I'm actually looking forward to more. We're going to finish it. It's 2 more streams to finish it. So we're going to wrap up Dark Souls 1 within the next 2 weeks. Which will be great. Remember, I rage quit the game. I never beat it originally. I got to Blighttown. I had enough, and I couldn't take it. It was too rage-inducing for me. It was one of the first rage quits I actually ever did for YouTube. So, okay. So, anyway, that was yesterday. Today, as you know, it's all Bison. Let's talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're returning to the Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. We have many different directions to go. I can either go down this river and check out these areas that we kind of skipped. I could go to the Abyss and check that out because we just ran through it and didn't really explore it at all. And I've heard there's really challenging, interesting stuff in the Abyss. And then we can go to the western part or northwestern part of the map, which is all these high up plateau areas with monuments. And apparently, I guess there's stuff up there to do maybe a dungeon, a boss, and then use Mesmer's Flame. And apparently that unlocks the final dungeon, legacy dungeon of the game. And all the final challenging stuff. So people asking, well, how many streams does Phil have left of the Dark Souls, of the Elden Ring DLC? Well, just between probably exploring the Abyss and doing a little bit more open world exploration or whatever, that's probably a stream, right? Then we've probably got doing the plateau stuff and heading to the final dungeon and maybe even getting into the final dungeon. That's probably a stream. And then maybe finishing the final dungeon and getting to the final boss. That's probably a stream, right? Now, the real question here is, how difficult will it be for me to beat the game? Because some people are saying the final boss of the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC is the hardest challenge that FromSoft has ever created in any of their games. Yes, even tougher than Millennia. All right? Well, I will compare this to my original run of Elden Ring. The first time I fought Millennia, I fought it for about 90 minutes on the first stream and then ran out of time. I did an entire 3-hour stream and ran out of time. And then I think I did another 2-some-hour stream, and then I beat her. So arguably it was around 6 hours of gameplay for me to beat Millennia the first time. Okay? When I went back to fight Millennia the second time, in my second run a month or two ago, I had a magic build, and instead of me trying to brute force the boss, I actually learned her patterns. By learning her patterns, learning how to dodge, in fact, I could dodge the entire waterfall dance without even taking a hit, right? Basically, I beat her in 2 hours. All right? It was tough because the first form was completely different than the second form, right? So, the way I see it is, if I get lucky and I brute force my way through it, which I might, I do have multiple builds right now I could use. I could use the ginormous stagger hammer build. I could use the counterattacking shield build. I have options, correct? So dependent on that and how well it goes, I may beat Shadow of the Erdtree in 3 streams. So that would be this Tuesday, and then next week 2 streams, and I might actually beat it. But if it really is as difficult as everyone says, then I predict more streams. I predict maybe 4 or 5 streams. And here's the thing. If this really is the final last hurrah for Elden Ring, there will be no more content. As Miyazaki has promised, he says, oh no, this is it. We went all out for this DLC because this is literally the only last piece of content for the game. There will be no more. If that is the case and he's not fibbing, then I'm okay with this boss being insanely hard and taking multiple streams to beat. Why wouldn't I? This is it. This is the last challenge you're going to see in this universe unless they make a sequel. So you might as well just make it the hardest thing ever done, right? So I'm actually okay with that because, hey, as long as people are going to show up and enjoy those attempts with me, then I'm all right with it, all right? You know, I'll probably have to approach it like I'm approaching Street Fighter right now. After a failed run, take a break, right? Relax with the audience. Talk it out a little bit. Try to figure out a changing of strategy or whatever, you know, is going to happen. We'll see. But here's the thing. It really appears to me that the build that I have, or the builds that I've been alternating between, seem for the most part to beat everything in the DLC. And some people just have so much issue with that, right? And by the way, it's not like I looked up anything, I planned it. This happened on the fly. I just happened to find this giant hammer inside of a blacksmith dungeon. I liked the look of it. I said, ooh, this could be interesting. Something different for a build. Let's try it. It happened to be an insanely good weapon. And I said, let's continue with similar builds. Then I changed it up. When I found a shield, I had the idea, why don't I try a shield build? Because I've never done that before. And then changing that to a guard counter build because I had a great guard counter weapon, you know, already. And then realizing, oh, crap, I have this medallion. I have this flask. I have this that I can use and this that I can use, right? So after building a smart build, and basically hammering my way through the things that everyone said were tough. The second boss, Rolana. I beat her in 15 minutes. 6 tries, and that's only because I messed up on a couple tries. I probably should have beaten her even sooner, but it wasn't a roadblock for me. It was a roadblock for a lot of people, not for me. Mesmer. What can I say? I just talked about it. That Mesmer, for a lot of people, they say it's one of the hardest bosses they've ever fought. For me, it was Tuesday. You know, I just hammered the shit out of him. Yes, there was a summon involved. The summon distracts Mesmer maybe once to twice during the fight, and only for a fraction of a second. It doesn't change the entire fight like some people are claiming because they're so salty that I beat him so fast. And by the way, by no means take this as me saying, oh, I'm some kind of a godlike Souls player. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's the build. I started the DLC with a build from the main game. That build was not working. I respect, and now I'm using exclusively weapons and armor from the DLC. I've upgraded using the Stardew tree fragments that I found along the way in the DLC. So there's nothing wrong with me playing it this way. It's not me saying, haha, get good, you guys suck, and that's what took you so long to beat these bosses. That's not what this is. This is me saying, it's just my build, and that's how the game was made. So if you don't like it, don't play it. That simple. If you disagree with the fact that they made the DLC like this, complain to Miyazaki and his team and leave me alone. Because I'm enjoying the DLC for what it is. I respect to try a new build. It worked because I'm using all the elements from the DLC as provided to succeed. So if you had a problem with Mesmer because you rushed to him, didn't explore the map, didn't get the Stardew tree fragments, didn't respect to use things from the DLC, and it took you 7 hours to beat him, whose fault is that? Mine? How could it possibly be mine? Maybe don't rush through the DLC. I'm taking my time exploring everything on purpose. Why are you rushing through it? Right? Like, why would you do that? Do the other things first. Go back. That's what I did, right? So I don't know. I mean, I'm really wondering about the end of the game and how challenging it's going to be. Is it going to be the craziest challenge ever, or will Millennia remain the toughest part of Elden Ring, and will it just kind of be a steamroll? I don't know, right? I don't know. We'll find out, you know? Or maybe they will nerf my build, which could happen. They've already nerfed certain builds. They nerfed the perfume bottle build, where I guess people were finding this way to just use giant buffs on the perfume bottles that are in the DLC, and they were killing bosses with 2 hits. What was the other one? There was 2 broken things. Someone said there was another broken thing too that everyone was using, and so they've reduced that too. There's 2 really broken things in the DLC that have already been patched out. So maybe they'll change my build too. I don't know. You know, again, I'm in no rush to get to the end of the game. While everyone rushed to beat it in a week, don't ask me why. I didn't know that there was a race. So, you know, I'm playing at my own pace. So I will continue to play at my own pace, and when we get there, we get there, and we see how it goes. All right? So anyway, yeah, tomorrow, Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, and then tomorrow night will be more Stardew Valley chill. Should be fun because now I'm micromanaging so much. My farm, my coop with the animals in it. I just finished a fishing tournament and got a bunch of new items that I can set up in my farm and everything. I'm trying to get further down into mining, right? There's a lot going on in the game right now. It's very exciting with the amount of stuff that's happening all at once. And I think summer's about to end, so we're about to go to the fall season and see all the new stuff there. So, it should be a good time. And I just hope that you'll join me for that tomorrow. So I'm off from streaming on Wednesday. All right, when I return on Thursday, it's going to be more Street Fighter 6 on the day stream, and it'll be the return of Riven Remastered on the late stream. I really am liking Riven Remastered. I think it's a great game. I actually can't wait for more. We unlocked the 5th and final island, and we're going to start exploring that now. Apologies. I had to make the tough decision on if it was going to be Stardew or Riven tomorrow, but since I'm doing Stardew tomorrow, that means I'm going to be doing Riven on Thursday, okay? And then Friday is more Erdtree paired with Friday Night Fights, and we'll go from there. This week will just be a balance between all the games that I've been playing, okay? Sound good? Now, we have a big update. If you missed yesterday's podcast, you missed us hammering in a bunch of details about the upcoming marathon event, so allow me to share again, and we have to start promoting this. On Saturday, July 27th, will be DSP's DSP 2024. That stands for Digital Summer Party. We're going to have a summertime marathon here on DSP Gaming. All right, it's going to be fun. And What are we doing? Well, there's going to be a little bit of booze. I'm not sure what yet. There's going to be some food. I'm not sure what, but I'm leaning strongly towards barbecue since, I mean, it's summertime foods, right? Um, Thinking about what to do during the stream, we've tossed around a few ideas. One would be maybe doing some Nintendo World Championships challenge runs, because that comes out around the middle of the month. And it would be cool to do some classic games and challenge runs with people voting on if they think I can complete them or not. They're live on the stream. Maybe a tier maker regarding something that's summertime, like maybe summertime foods or something like that, like outdoor foods, summertime, like what's better? Macaroni salad, corn on the cob, pork ribs, barbecue chicken, mac and cheese, right? Like what's better? And so that would be pretty cool to do a tier maker on that, because we haven't done one for a very long time. Okay, so that would be a nice relaxing thing to do. Maybe do some gameplay, maybe do some Stardew Valley chill, maybe do a little bit of Street Fighter online play and do variety. Maybe pick the other characters I haven't used in ages for variety purposes, right? But it will be a marathon, meaning it'll be all day, starting in the morning a podcast, but then going all the way to like 7, 8 p.m. It'll be a nice way to enjoy the summertime, and I'm doing it right at the end of July, so that way I can focus on my migration from my current PC over to my wife's PC, which will be a big upgrade. I'm going from Windows 8 to Windows 10. It means I'll be able to use my Stream Deck for the first time. I'll be, maybe even broadcasting and encoding at a higher quality. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, but it's going to be exciting time. So that's at the end of the month, Saturday, July 27th. Mark your calendars. Now, if you have any idea what stuff you'd like to see during that event, if you have any, this is something that we should do specifically for that day, it makes sense, share those ideas with me. Please leave comments on this video. Share in the stream chat here. I need feedback. The more feedback I get, the better my content is. I love being interactive with you guys and taking in said feedback. So please share what you would like to do during that stream. Okay? I'm only doing it because you asked. Like the last marathon I did was late May. People are like, Phil, it's been a while. You're going to do a marathon soon? I'm like, I guess we can. Sure, why not? If that's what you guys want, I'm down for it. So set your calendars, all right? July 27th. Cool. All right. So, guys, gals, that is literally all I have to talk about on today's show. Don't have much else to talk about. So we have some options. Either I can go do a little bit of suggestion box, or if you just want to do open Q&A for a bit and see where the stream takes us, if we want to end the podcast earlier and get more Street Fighter gameplay in, I'm okay with that today. That's up to you. Whatever you guys want, all right? Normally, I would say, hey, it's shout-outs time. Well, we have 2 shout-outs. Jade re-upped his membership for 37 months at the Ultra level and say, hey, bud, how are ya? I'm good. We are in the midst of a crazy heat wave. In fact, today, it's already 82 degrees. It's not even noon yet. It's going to get up to 95 degrees this afternoon because of the full sun and crazy crazy summer temperatures. It's going to be very hot, so I need to have the air conditioning on blasting all day today. It is what it is. That's, again, a reason why I'm actually wearing this nice aerated shirt, because yesterday I had the air conditioner on all day, and even though I had it on max, it was still like 75 degrees in here. It was very hard to keep the temperature down because it was so hot outside. So there's not much I can do. I'm going to be in here sweating it out trying to play with Bison today. Oh, boy, right? It's just going to exacerbate the situation of me trying to play this game, right? So I guess we'll see how it goes. But anyway, yeah, so heat wave is going on right now. It's pretty nuts, and trying to keep cool with that. But thank you, Jade, for being a supporter for over 3 years. And then we have Black Rose X Dragon, who became a member and said, Bison hype is real. I think you can get Bison to 1,700 master rank points. I mean, that would be amazing. Just so everyone knows, because people have been asking about, oh, Phil, will you ever get a character like M. Bison to legend status in Street Fighter 6? No. There's no way I even could. Even if I continued to play at a high level, you have to understand, when you win a match in Master, at most you're going to win 10 rank points. Most of the time, you're only winning very few rank points, just a handful. Okay, way less than 10. People at legend level are around 2,000 or higher ranking points. In fact, there's people over 2,000 ranking points that are still in Master. They haven't even hit legend yet. Okay? So I just want you to think about that. Let's say on average it's 5 points if I win a Master match. Okay? Just think about that. So For me to even hit 2,000 points from where I am now, it's what, like 440 points or something like that? You're talking something crazy. Like, I would have to go on a win streak of like 100 match win streak. You know what I'm saying? To even get to 2,000. And you know I'm not going to go on a 100 match win streak. You know that it's going to be, you know, give or take. Win a couple, lose a couple. Sometimes I'll be on a losing streak. Sometimes I'll get on a winning streak. But that's how it is. There's no way I'm going to go on a 100 match win streak in Master. So just think about that. With this, as little as I play, I only play Street Fighter 6, what, 2-3 times a week tops, against people who are playing literally all the time. This is their hobby. This is what they do for fun and for competition. There's no realistic way I would ever hit Legend. The only way I could hit Legend would be very simply to play this game every single day as a whole stream. Like if every night stream was Street Fighter 6 for 2-3 weeks and I consistently got better with Bison, then yes, I could possibly hit Legend. But I don't have the time or means to do that. You know, I just don't. I'm a variety streamer. I put out variety content. People enjoy that. That's how I make a living. I enjoy the variety content. I like breaking up the content, not doing the same thing every stream. It would be boring to me. If I literally sat here doing the same thing every stream, I'd actually get tired of it and not enjoy it anymore. And if that's the case, you know, it's going to basically spoil the whole thing for me, right? Even in the days when I actually was competitive in Street Fighter and I was traveling to play it in tournaments and the like, I would get burnt out. I'd be playing it as much as I possibly could, and I'd feel this feeling of like overload, too much of the same. So I'd actually go on breaks for like months. I'm going to take a 2-month break from Street Fighter and literally not touch it, and then come back feeling very refreshed, you know, step back into the arcade and whatever, and then take on the opponents and see what's happened in the last couple of months, you know. That's happened to me. And I'm like, well, and then it worked out because I would come back feeling refreshed and I'd actually play better, you know. So anyway, yeah, that's all. That's it. That's my advice or my feeling. I don't think I would ever hit Legend Bison under any circumstance. I would have to become a pro player. Like the people who are Legend status, most of them are actually pro players who are trying to either play in the tournament circuit or, you know what I mean? They're trying to get on a team. That's what they do. That's not me. I have no aspirations to be sponsored, signed, and traveling the world playing in tournaments. I don't give a shit. You know, for me, it's amazing to me. I'm 42 years old. I am 8 years removed from playing anything. Actually, take that back. The last time I played in a tournament was 2012. It was Screw Attack Gaming Convention's Iron Man of Gaming tournament. They had a Street Fighter 4 tournament in it, and I won it. Okay? That's literally the last time I performed in any official tournament capacity. It's been 12 years since I played in any kind of a tournament capacity. And the fact that I was able to come into Street Fighter 6 cold, not having played Street Fighter 5, right? For the 7 years it was out, I skipped it. It sucked, in my opinion. So coming into Street Fighter 6 and learning it the way I did, it was slow going at first, but eventually everything clicked with the drive rushes, the drive impacts, the drive reversals, and all that stuff, right? It took a long time, but I got on page, and I started not only playing with one character, but 2, 3, 4, 5, getting all those characters to master, which took a long time, but I did it, right? You know, and now finding a character that after over a year of this game, this character really feels like it clicks with me, and wanting to get better with this character, having right now the best performance I've ever had with a character in the game, highest match rank and best win-loss ratio from the get-go, right? So, you know, it is what it is. This is the best I've ever done, but I don't think there's any situation, unless I completely change my content and my lifestyle, to be getting any character to Legend in Street Fighter 6. It's just not viable, you know? I'm happy to be in Master and hopefully climb the ranks of Master and have good matches and learn more about the game, because ultimately that's what it's about. It's about learning and getting better at the rank I'm at and then advancing. It's not about being the absolute best. I will never be the absolute best in Street Fighter 6. That's insane. That's a crazy pipe dream, right? There's even people who wish that they could be the absolute best, who are former pro players who can't. I'm sure that, you know, people who used to be tournament champions and everything wish that they could be the best in Street Fighter 6, and they're not. It's a whole new generation doing that stuff now, you know? So it ain't going to be me That's for sure. Absolutely not. Okay. What's up, Game Boy? How are you? All right. So, guys, that's what I've got. I have no other contributions today. No super chats, no memberships, no tips to shout out. Again, just a reminder, I said I'm going to mention this a few times today, so please get used to it. Please contribute to the stream today. This is my one and only stream for the day, so I need it to be a good one. The goal is to hit 50 bucks in tips, but if we go above that, we hit the full tips goal. It is Bison Hat time for the stream, which I would love to do. And thanks to everyone who came by to hang out today. Okay, so now I think what we will do, let's open it up to some Q&A. Let's see what you guys want to talk about today. Let's see where the chat takes us today. And if we end up getting bored or whatever we're done to talk about, then maybe we'll start gameplay early. Okay? Game Boy says, the air conditioner repairman just arrived. Can I pause the stream? Okay, everyone ready? Hold on. The air conditioner repairman just arrived. So, hold on. What the hell? Like, stupid. Oh, my mouse is really frustrating me today. Already, right out of the gates, it's out. Here we go. Ready? All right. So, everyone, just sit tight. We're just going to sit here, and we're going to wait for Game Boy. It might be a while. Repairman can take a couple hours. So, let's just sit here and see what happens, okay? Okay, this is pretty boring. All right, let's get back to the show. Sorry, I tried Game Boy, but that was incredibly boring. Okay. I'm going to check the suggestion box only if you guys want me to. Elsa says, a while ago, Miyazaki said he was interested in Escape from Tarkov. Do you have any thoughts? No. No, I don't even know what Escape from Tarkov is. I know it's a game. I know it's one of those games where I guess you can replay it endlessly, like it's online multiplayer or whatever. You know I'm not into that. You know, Escape from Tarkov is PC-centric. I don't know if it's on console now, but, you know, it's kind of like PUBG, where I didn't give a shit about PUBG. I only cared about it because they eventually launched it on Xbox One. It was my first experience ever with a Battle Royale game, so at least, to know what Battle Royale was nice, but don't really care about that style of game, so I don't really know what Escape from Tarkov actually is, you know? Sorry, I got a hanging piece of skin on my finger, and it bothers me. It's like a pet peeve of mine. When I have a hanging nail or a hanging piece of skin, I, like, focus on it, and I can't stop looking at it. It's driving me nuts. I might have to pause and go take care of it. Rear Tricks asks, do you not like the new Bison outfit? You only seem to be using his classic one. No, I do not. The old Bison outfit is him looking decrepit, right? As if from the events of Street Fighter 5 to 6, which includes the entire events of Street Fighter 3, he just lived in the streets with amnesia. Sure he did. Whatever you say. I'll be honest, I think that it's a really stupid plot line, because obviously, even though they like to pretend like it's been a long time since we've seen Bison, it's literally been since the last game, which was just a year ago, or 2 years ago, or whatever you want to say. It has not been a long time that has passed, despite the fact that the timeline says otherwise. It's not. It doesn't feel like he's been gone. It would have been one thing if they literally had 1 to 2 games with no M. Bison. And then all of a sudden, this enigmatic character returns, and maybe don't even call him Bison, right? Call him something else, but he seemingly has a lot of Bison's powers, so you suspect he's Bison, but then in the plot later, it's revealed he is Bison, and then maybe you have a second version of the character released that is Bison. Like, that would be neat. But instead, it's like, oh, look, it's Bison, he's back. Oh, but he has a new outfit where his cape now is like a shawl he wears that's falling apart, and he has amnesia. It's like, dude, if this guy had psycho powers or whatever, it doesn't matter if he has amnesia or not. You really think he'd be living in the streets with a decrepit outfit? No, it's just a dumb plot. I'm sorry, it's just stupid. But let's be honest here. The plot of Street Fighter is not why people play it. Okay? I mean, the endings, a lot of the times back in the day, didn't even make sense. When you would beat the game, you would see that the arcade answer, you'd be like, I don't even understand how this fits into the canon of the game. Isn't this contradictory to other things that have already happened? And the answer would be yes. They didn't really care. There never really is a canon story They've tried to do that with Street Fighter V and now heading into 6, but I don't think it really works, honestly. For me, Bison will always be the dictator. That's the point. That's his plot. There's no reason to change the plot now. What do they call it? To switch the script or whatever. Why are you going to do that? Why are you going to flip the script? It doesn't need to be flipped. He's Bison. He's a badass. He has psycho powers. He's a homicidal maniac. He's a narcissist. He's a dictator. He wants to rule the world, and he kicks your ass. That's all you need to know. So give him his dictator outfit. Good to go. Like I said, I really don't like the new outfit they gave him. I think it's quite stupid, honestly. Let's see. Ross Praise says, in your opinion, why are AAA games not as good anymore? Well, it's very, very simple. It's the chasing of money. That's all it is. What's happened is you went from game devs who were allowed. I'm going to use some common lingo now. They were used to be allowed to cook. They were given the means, the time to develop and put out games that they felt were in their wheelhouse of what they were good at doing. You know, you would have BioWare make awesome RPGs. You would have, Infinity Ward make a great Call of Duty game. You would have EA and their various studios working on different divisional games that they were great at. Ubisoft. I mean, that was a good one. Ubisoft used to be able to have time to make games. What happened? Well, we need more profits in a faster time frame, right? If the games are going to have bigger budgets, which it seems like they dictate with the better graphics, well, they need to make more money. So how do we do that? Well, standard selling of games isn't working anymore. Just selling a game for $70 a pop isn't enough profits. So we need to now have revenue streams. So how do we do that? Seasonal pass content, DLC content, nickel and diming the customer, right? Ultimate Team packs, opening them up, buying 1 million skins for your guns and characters in these games. That's what happened. And so AAA game development became less about focusing on the main game being good, but instead on what is the revenue stream that we can generate out of making this game and making that long-term viable for our company. This is no longer just a one-time product. This is a long-term investment over which we're going to continuously develop and make tons of money. When did this attitude start? Grand Theft Auto Online. 10 years ago, when GTA Online released and exploded in popularity, and all of a sudden they realized, oh, wait a minute. We're Rockstar Games and we're known for making amazing single-player experiences, but we don't have to do that anymore. We can literally do minimal work and just piecemeal upload a little bit of new content every once in a while to GTA Online, and we can make billions of dollars a year in profits. So they dropped all their development of single-player content, they put everything into the multiplayer, and they literally profited, right? And then every other game tried to follow suit in their own way. Really, GTA Online created an entire decade of companies changing focus from making something that's good and artistic to making something that's profitable. That's sad, but that's sadly what's happened with almost every single piece of entertainment ever. It's happened with the television industry. It's happened with the movie industry. Television used to have well-written, well-acted, epic-level shows instead of 1920 reality shows all competing for top spot, which are just shovel shit and have no value whatsoever to humanity. But that's what got the most views. So everything became reality TV for a very long time there, right? Competition shows, fucking Who Wants to Be a Dickhead, America's Top Shitty Chef, every bad show possible. That became top schlock TV, right? And so all the good shows went away to make room for schlock TV. Profits over quality, right? And then movies started doing it. Oh, wait, we've actually made a superhero movie that's good? Let's make 47 more of them, out of which only another 10 will probably be good, and the rest just follow a copy-paste formula, and they're also samey, but people get hooked into the universe, so they got to keep watching them all and buying the merch, and then, oh, wait, we'll do shows too. Let's do a whole network of shows on that shit. And so it's like, wait a minute. Where's the creativity? Where is the fucking originality? Where's an original thought? Doesn't exist anymore because all they care about is this. But this is what happens when corporations and CEOs and big wig guys get their hands and hooks into the stuff that we like. Video games were very much a nerdy subculture, a grassroots phenomenon from the 1980s all the way through the early 2010s. And then all of a sudden in the 2010s, boom, it became the biggest entertainment medium in the world. And that's when the vultures came swooping in to take control of the industry. And they did. They took it over. Instead of letting the creative people cook, they took them out of the kitchens and tossed them into the gulag and said, now just slave away chipping at these fucking boulders. BioWare. Like, no, we don't want to make Anthem. We want to make epic RPGs. That's what we do. Fuck you. You sit there and you chip at that fucking boulder and you print money for us, bitches. And then what happened? It flops. Rocksteady with Suicide Squad. Same exact situation. Oh, we just made an epic Batman trilogy. One of the best comic book game series of all time. Oh, look, let's make a shitty fucking shooter game where you co-op online with a bunch of obnoxious assholes, right? Oh, that sounds like, oh, but it's games as a service. It'll continue on with DLC content, except it flopped. So that's what I mean. Like, this is what has happened to AAA game development. It's turned into, how do we make max profits for minimum work and keep those profits rolling? Instead of, how do we make an amazing game that's artistic and fun and everyone likes, and then the profits come because they're deserving? Okay. Sorry for the long-winded answer, but I hope that you liked it, Ross Prey. Okay. What else would you guys like to talk about this morning? And this piece of skin is bothering me. I hate it when it happens. Hi, is Darkness. Please let's not get into political discourse this morning. Thank you. Andrew says, if you could give yourself selective amnesia, what games would you replay first? BioShock and Mass Effect 1. OPBoone says, seems like Nintendo is the only major video game company not a lot following the trend. One of the times them doing their own thing is great. Now, here's the thing. I agree, but I also disagree. Nintendo is like the polar opposite, right? Nintendo is the company. They refuse to follow trends. They refuse to even try to compete, yet somehow they remain crazy popular and successful because of a rabid, dedicated fan base. They're the complete polar opposite of where the games industry is going, but they're lucky to have what they have because essentially they're the same as Apple. Apple hasn't done anything innovative or really that great in the last 10 to 15 years, but Apple fanboys run out and buy every new iPhone, every new iWatch, every new device so they stay profitable. They run out and buy every accessory for maximum profits for Apple for some odd reason. I don't get it, but they do, right? Nintendo fans are the same. When the Switch came out, Nintendo fans were upset. They said, man, this thing's kind of underpowered. It kind of sucks that you can't really play the same style of games that are on the other competition's consoles. We wish that this would have a better processor, a better GPU, more storage space, Wiimotes, or I should say Joy-Cons that don't drift. You know, we'd like all of these awesome features. So Nintendo said, thanks for all your feedback. We ignore it all, and we give you the Switch OLED, which literally improves absolutely nothing you asked for, but instead gives you a improved stand, slightly better speakers, and a slightly better screen. By the way, pay full price for it. And you know what the Nintendo fans said? Sure, yes, we'll do that. And they all ran out and bought it for no reason. They didn't need a second Switch. They just bought it anyway. That's what they do. They all complained about Pokemon. Oh my God. Pokemon Violet and Scarlet is the absolute worst Pokemon game ever. Can you imagine? Look how bad it runs. It's choppy as hell. The draw distance is atrocious. The animations are poor. What on earth were they thinking? You know, Pokemon Violet and Scarlet, the best-selling Pokemon game ever. So they're kind of the opposite, where they don't follow the trends. Nintendo is not necessarily looking for big, massive profits in games as a service games, but why? Because they don't have to, because they somehow have this really installed fan base of people who buy everything anyway. It doesn't even matter the quality. They just don't care. They'll buy it anyway. So I guess if you don't have to worry about money, you don't really care about any of that, right? Now you might say, well, Nintendo sometimes does innovate. You're right. I will admit some of the things that they've done have been innovative, but then you've got things like that fucking the cardboard box game where you have to buy a bunch of boxes and build them, and somehow that's supposed to be worth like $70, right? Or you get the fucking Wii U with its stupid gamepad with built-in screen that no one asked for and no one ever used, but it was shoved down our throats and certain first-party games had to use it, right? I mean, I could keep going on and on that even though they do some big innovative things every once in a while, these days, a lot of these innovative things fall flat on their faces and don't have much or any use, right? So it's really the rabid fan base they have that keeps them afloat or alive. So, you know, they're very different from Sony or Microsoft or EA or Ubisoft or Square Enix because they don't have to be like them. At the same time, maybe you should actually have a little bit of awareness of who you are and say, if only you gave a little bit more effort, if only you stopped relying on that rabid fan base of fans to just spend on it for no reason, and you improved. If you actually came out with a console that almost competed with your competitors graphics-wise, you made an amazing graphical overhaul to Zelda or Mario, how different things could be. You know, they're already the market leader. That's true. But do they end up having the most market share of games sold? Nope. What was the best-selling game of last year? Harry Potter. What was the best-selling game of like the 10 years before that? Call of Duty. These are not first-party Nintendo titles. You see? Even though they're the best-selling console, they're not dominating the market in overall game sales because the games they make aren't appealing to the widest audience. They're only appealing to the hardcore Nintendo fan, which is fine. That's what they claim to want, and apparently it's good financially for them, so why divert? So in one case, you've got people who said, we're not going to make good games anymore, we're just going to make games that are profitable. In the other case, we've got people who says, we don't even need to necessarily go crazy making games because people just buy everything we put out anyway. On both sides, you've got people who aren't putting in maximum effort to put out the absolute best artistic product for us. So who loses here? Us, the gamers. In both situations, we're the losers. Pokemon and Zelda, though, what about them? They both perform poorly on the respective console, which is the point I'm making. Pokemon, the worst-looking Pokemon in ages. Zelda actually ran very poorly on the Switch. So I don't know what you mean. No, I did not see the Like a Dragon 9 tease. I saw a little bit something about it on social media, but I didn't see it. If it's a tease, I don't really care. I think you've actually just proven my point. Andrew says Mario Kart sold 62 million on Switch. Now, first of all, I don't know if I believe it sold 62 million copies. I'd love to see the data on that. But Mario Kart sold 62 million on Switch. Mario Kart 8 from the Wii U sold 62 million on Switch. Do you understand the point I'm making? It's not even a new game. It was a re-release. They re-released the game and didn't put any effort into it, and it sold 62 million. So why is Nintendo going to put effort into making better games when they can re-release their old ones and sell 62 million copies? Because the Nintendo fanboys can't help themselves. Animal Crossing sold 45 million. That's correct. During COVID. Animal Crossing was a franchise that never broke sales numbers like that. And then COVID hit and everyone was stuck home and ran out and bought Animal Crossing because there was nothing else to do. Everyone played it for 3-4 months and then got bored and dropped it. But it sold because of COVID. I played it too during COVID, you know? What? Carlos says, I have a friend, no lie, he bought 6 or 7 Switches. No wonder it's the best-selling console. 2 of them bricked. The others are just special editions he kept buying. Again, I always warn you guys. What do I say? I say you got to be careful because you have to be conscious that your actual purchasing actions as a consumer dictate where the industry is going, correct? If you spend carelessly, that will be where the industry goes. If people spend all their money on GTA Online, you will see a decade of other companies trying to copy the success of GTA Online with games as a service games that no one wants. If you buy 17 Switch consoles, you will see Nintendo never try to innovate and make a better console because you bought 17 of their underpowered console. You understand? But people don't seem to want to ever take responsibility for their actions anymore. They just think that I can do whatever I want and I'm free of any kind of judgment or any kind of responsibility. It can't possibly have been me. No, it was. If you're one of the people who did these things, you're part of the problem of why we're where we are today. Why in 2024 are we saying, man, why have all the AAA games this year been very underwhelming? These are the reasons. It's your behavior. It dictated this outcome. What else would happen? Cause and effect. But, oh, no, it can't be us. There's no possible way that gamers could be responsible. Yeah, not solely, but absolutely we're part of the problem. It's our behaviors that have made these people in charge do these things, right? All right. That's true too. Citrus-san says people are just paying $60 on re-releases over and over. Some of the biggest games this year are re-releases. Are you kidding? What? Are you ready for this? Here we go. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. Nintendo World Championships, which is just basically hacked ROMs of Nintendo games. Age of Mythology remake. Dead Rising remastered. Epic Mickey re-released. Silent Hill 2 remake. Sonic X Shadow Generations. Dragon Quest 3 remake. Wow, I wasn't even expecting to find that many. I thought I was going to find 2 or 3. I just called out like 7, didn't I? And that's just what's coming out for the rest of the year. That's not even paying attention to the ones that already came out this year or the ones that don't have solid release dates. So if we keep dropping 60 to 70 bucks for every re-release, we will have less original concept games with creativity and more re-releases of things from the past. It's exactly the same as with movies. The movies that get remade 17 times. They're talking about, who was it? There's actually a director who's talking about remaking his own movie. I was like, wait, what? I forget which one it was. I think it's what was the movie? I can't remember. But it's a director, I think he's from Asia, and he's talking, it's a prominent movie, like a prominent Asian culture movie. I can't remember what it is. And he literally has said, I'm going to remake my own movie from 20 years ago. It's like, you're remaking your own movie? What? Why can't you make a new one? You're just making the same movie again? What the fuck? Like, what? It's insane. No, not The Ring. Are they remaking The Ring? I didn't even know that. I had no idea they were remaking The Ring. That would be Ringu, right? I didn't know they were remaking Ringu. The Grudge? Are they remaking Ju-on too? I don't know any of this. I don't follow Japanese cinema, so I don't know. No, it's none of the movies you guys are mentioning. I can't remember what it was. I don't think I've ever even seen the movie. But I saw the article. I was like, famous director says he's going to remake. He's very excited about remaking his movie that came out in like the early 2000s. I was like, what? You're just making the same movie again? Why don't you just fucking make a new movie? Like, what are you talking about? Oh, the director of Ju-on made the American version? Oh, I didn't know that. How do I feel about upcoming hyper-realistic FPS games? I don't know yet. I haven't played any of them. Maybe they're good, maybe they're not. I don't know. I don't think my mini PC will run them. Have you ever seen the Cloverfield movies? I saw the both of them. The first one is an actual monster movie. The other one is a psychological thriller. Oh, that is true. Double M says, the man that directed both Silent Hill movies is in production making Silent Hill 2 again. It comes out in October. So basically what they did is they made Silent Hill the movie. And it was pretty decent. Honestly, it definitely didn't follow the plot line of the game. But it was a pretty good horror movie, in my opinion. And then they made the sequel, and the sequel was atrocious. What was it called? Silent Hill... I can't even remember what it was called. It was really bad. I remember seeing it in theaters. I hated it. I was like, wow, this movie was really, really not scary. Just shitty. So now they're making another Silent Hill movie that actually is supposed to be like Silent Hill 2, the game, basically. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's what they should have done to begin with. But I don't know. So I guess they're writing off the other movie, like it never happened or something. I don't know. It's also very odd to make another Silent Hill movie this late, but it not be a reboot. It's weird that they're saying it's going to be a sequel, but not a reboot this long into it. Dark Souls Master, thank you for the actual first contribution of today. He just did a super chat, says, are you ready for the Bison beatdowns today? Yeah. As much as I can be. I studied up. I got cool attire on. I think I'm ready to go. I just hope that I remember to take the breaks that I need. I'm going to need to take frequent breaks to hopefully keep climbing and ascending and doing well. Because I know I'm going to get heated all the time. My blood pressure is going to be way up there, but... you know, it should be a good stream, I feel. Am I going to buy the remaster of Clock Tower? I don't know anything about it. I'd have to know more about it. Is it a modern remake? Is it just a re-release of the original SNES game? Like, what exactly is it? I don't know anything about it. I've never played any of the Clock Tower games. It would be fascinating for me to maybe delve into them and see what they are. Do I know about a third Cloverfield movie on Netflix? Maybe I did at one point, but I don't... I know I never saw it. I don't know. I guess I don't remember. I think I read about it at one point. But I don't think I never saw it, so I don't know. The Cloverfield paradox? Yeah, isn't it something stupid? Like, the Cloverfield monster from the first movie came from that. Like, it got teleported in from, like, a space or something stupid. Like, something really dumb. Basically, they made 3 movies that are supposed to be connected by plot, but the 3 movies are so tonally different that it's hard to even, like, believe that they're together, right? It's more like, well, we want to loosely connect 3 completely unrelated movies with a plot so that way people will watch all 3, right? Because if you only watch Cloverfield Paradox, well, now you want to know what that ties into, so you watch the other 2 movies, right? Or if you only saw the first Cloverfield movie and then years later you heard there's others, oh, I want to see what those are. But they're not even the same movies at all, right? They're completely different. Are there any plans for co-op streams in the future? Number one, if you mean Street Fighter, yeah, eventually I want to do another lobby with Brian. You know, top tier rated over on Twitch. It's on me because I've gotten caught up with other stuff going on. Like, I started playing more late night chill streams, which took away my opportunity to really have more time to do those kind of streams. In addition, I'm focusing on Bison right now and getting better with him. So to take a stream away to do casual play with Brian kind of doesn't make sense. And now missing a stream tonight as well sets me back. So basically, it's on me. It has nothing to do with him. You know, we had talked about doing another lobby, and I told him I would, you know, we would talk about it, and then we never really have gotten around to talking about doing it again. So nothing against him at all. It's all on me being busy with all the stuff that I'm doing right now. I feel like once I get enough gameplay into Bison and I feel, okay, this is good or whatever, then I want to take a break. That's when I would say, hey, all right, let's do a casual lobby with Brian and we'll do variety characters again, right? But right now, I just kind of want to focus on what I'm doing with Bison. Now, if you're talking about other stuff, we had already talked about maybe when Black Ops 6 comes out and their new Warzone comes out, maybe we would team up and do like 2v2 teams of Warzone, try to learn it and stuff. Plus, I'll have a really great setup for Warzone now on PS5. I'll be able to play it at, you know, full VRR, you know, 60 frames and everything. Then again, it's going to be on, that's right, it's going to be on Xbox. Never mind. I'll play it on Xbox because I'll get it for free under Game Pass. And I should still be able to do the same thing. Run it 1080p, full 120 hertz VRR and everything. It'll be pretty sweet. So, Spawn Killer just did a super chat. He says, imagine if Team Bondi makes LA Noire too. So guess what? I have a follow-up. Remember the story I did 2 days ago about Team Bondi? So there's been an update. And the update is not very good. All right? For those who are interested. So 2 days ago, there was a story that someone posted up on, what was it, Instagram? A whole song. And they were a composer. And they were like, I composed this song for a game from Team Bondi, because they're not called Team Bondi. They have a new name now, but whatever the new name of the studio is. And they're like, yeah, so this is a new song for this game, and this game is set in 1940s, you know, LA, and it's regarding the Black Dahlia murders and stuff like that. And it has to do with the house and everything. So you post all this information up, and people are like, what? There's a new game coming out? So they actual Team Bondi, and again, I forget what they're called now. They actually posted up yesterday to clarify. They said, no, this guy composed a song for us for LA Noire that was never used. It was a part of LA Noire that was unused content. And so we don't know why he's posting up saying this is a new game. It's not. This is from LA Noire. Obviously, we're not making LA Noire anymore. We're basically making content for Rockstar. We're a licensed studio who makes some content for Rockstar, but we're not working on another LA Noire game. The whole thing was just a fucking lie and misinformation. They don't know why the guy posted that. So, damn, because I would have loved it. I would have loved to have another game set in that time period. You know, again, I'm currently releasing my remastered edition of my 2011 playthrough of LA Noire on DSP Throwback. I'm enjoying watching it every night when a new part comes out. The plot is very interesting. And I'm like, damn, I wish we had more games like this. And I was actually stoked when I heard this news this week, and then come to find out it's all bullshit. Sir Lugo says, would you be interested in playing games like American Truck Simulator? I think it would work for chill night streams. There's a DLC that has Washington State as a drivable area. I don't know. Listen, I don't know anything about it. There's been other games that I've like, I don't think it would work. Like, I didn't think Flight Simulator would work. I didn't think Bassmaster would work. And then they did. In fact, they worked really well. So maybe a game like Truck Simulator would work. Maybe it wouldn't. I'd be willing to give it a shot if there was demand for it. All right? I'm not a closed-minded guy who's going to say no, 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 because it doesn't sound like it's something that I'm interested in. I'm willing to give anything a shot, as long as it doesn't cost like a bunch of money. Right? Jade, welcome back. He says, can we do red and blue bison today? You know, I really liked that color of bison we did last time, so I'll probably continue with it today. I actually enjoyed that color scheme of, it was more of an orangish red and blue, and people were like, oh, it's Super Mario Bison. I was like, hey, call it whatever you want. I actually liked it. It's basically like classic bison with like accentuations on the outfit, so I think we will use that again today. Yes, I played Pokemon Go. When it was new, I played Pokemon Go for a few months. I even did a whole video about, at one point I was in Seattle, and I tried out Pokemon Go walking around Seattle and stuff. Rush fan, yes, good afternoon. I indeed am ready for fights today. That is the intention of the stream. We'll see how it goes. Oh, man. Ooh, good stretch. So again, guys, I see many, many more people have joined the show. Wow, many more people. Over 100 since the last time I checked. FYI, we're only doing one stream today. It's Street Fighter 6 M Bison ranked gameplay, although I will warm up with a few casual matches, and then we're going to jump into the ranked. I'm trying to get Bison to climb higher. He's at the highest ranking points I've ever gotten any character in Street Fighter 6, and so I'm looking to increase that today and do better. I've actually looked up some gameplay. I feel that it'll be applied well, and hopefully, you know, I'll actually do well today. We'll see. You know, and I've got some new strategies that I was watching online that I think I can apply to today possibly that might work pretty well. We'll find out. But it's my only stream for today. There's no night stream tonight because I have to film private patron react videos. So if you can support the stream today, I would really appreciate it. Right now, my concern is that I'm only doing one stream and I look to hit $50 in tips per stream. We got none so far on the podcast. That makes me worry. As you know, when I play Street Fighter, it's not super interactive because I need to focus on the game a lot. I am going to try to change this and actually do interactive portions with you, take breaks, talk, hang out, rather than just be about the game. I want to make the streams better for you guys who are here. And plus, that's going to help me a lot to cool down and not get overheated and tilted and keep making mistakes, especially when things are going wrong, okay? I'll be honest. It's very tough when I'm on a losing streak. It's very tough for me to step away and take a break. I feel like I want to keep going. But that's probably the worst possible thing that I could actually do, right? So, I appreciate all of you being here. If you could support the stream, that would be great. The earlier, the better. Because if the support comes in early, then I don't have it in the back of my mind all day about, oh no, it's my only stream and it's not doing well. All right, so please consider contributing to the stream today. If you like the content, I would very much appreciate that. And remember, the Bison Hat is in effect today. If we happen to hit that hat goal, $100 in tips, the Bison Hat will go on for the Bison stream. Okay? Cool. Okay. Anything else you guys would like to talk about today? Any other topics? Anything else going on? If not, if it's cooling down, then maybe we should actually end the show and I should get set up to play. It's up to you guys. What do you think? People are very quiet. How was my fourth? I was here. Eternal Napalm, I was here, dude. I was streaming all day. I did have delicious bison burgers, though. They were very tasty. After having hit master rank with bison on that stream, to then eat double bison burgers for dinner, hit the spot. Let me tell you, it was like the perfect meal for the day. Hair of the Dog is here. Thank you for a $2 super chat, Hair of the Dog. Dang, there's so many emotes now. It's crazy the amount of emotes we have. Will I do a special stream for the 100th episode of DSP versus the internet? Maybe. Let's find out. Let's see. Because it's coming up. I mean, we do one a week, and we're at 73 now coming up. So that would mean probably early next year, right? Would probably be when we hit that milestone. I'll have to see. How many emotes do I even have on the channel right now? This many? That's quite a lot. Yeah, and see, we have some ones that we can swap around, which is nice. Certain ones that, if they don't apply or nothing going on with them recently, you can swap it around. Yeah. Cool. Hold on. Do I want... What? Oh, this is just another sock account. Let me get rid of this sock account. This person has like 20 accounts in the chat right now. Jade says, what is the story of Little Mac's background? I don't know. I'm not sure. I played Punch-Out, but back then, there was no elaborate stories to characters. No one really knew. All I know is that he's supposed to be simulated like Rocky, like an up-and-comer boxer. That's it. It's all I really know is like the true underdog story of a boxer or something. Sir Lugo says, do you still have lower back issues? I've started working out more. I've noticed that my lower back pain decreased a lot. The only lower back issues I get is every once in a while I will get some tenseness. If I have a day where I'm on my feet all day or I have to do some kind of lifting or a lot of strenuous activity for some reason, I'll get some numbness and pain. It's not often. Every once in a while I get a bad day, I'll tweak my back like, oh, fuck, it hurts. But no, I honestly, as I'm getting older, I get more upper back issues in my neck or upper like shoulder blades area. Sometimes I tweak that and then I'll get shooting pain or numbness through my shoulders or through my neck for a while. And then it takes a while to kind of like readjust and not be in pain anymore. But I think it's just because I just don't have a great back. Like I've never have. I had issues in my 20s with my back. So it's probably going to continue, you know? Let's see here. Rare Tricks did a super chat and says Bison to 1600 MR, which is what? Match ranking is what it stands for. It's supposed to be the points. Cool. I mean, that would be great. Hey, if I get him to that today, that would be sweet. I don't know if I will, but if I got that to that level, that would be amazing, you know? Ross Prey, thank you for 20 months as a member. Says, keep cool, Phil. Let's get on a win streak today. Sounds good. No, we didn't watch any fireworks. We weren't too interested in it, quite frankly. Ever thought of doing a special stream reacting to my history of DSP through the years, like Street Fighter matches? Well, I don't know what you mean by that. Sadly, many or most of my time actually being a well-ranked player in Street Fighter was never recorded or televised. There was no streaming back then. There's a few matches online. Like, for example, there's a matches of a couple different Evos. There's the Evo where I beat Justin Wong 2006. There's footage of me beating Seth Killian. I believe that was Evo East 2007 finals. Some of my matches, but not all of them, from the Evo 2005, where I actually placed 4th place and I was the top-ranked American in Super Turbo. Some of those matches are available, but not all. Like, the matches I won aren't there. Seriously. Like, the matches that I beat people to get there, they're not recorded. I think the only match that's recorded is, like, me against Tokido when he beat me, right? So, there's just not a lot of it, you know, recorded or broadcast. I mean, there was a year when literally, in 2007, I went to all the qualifiers for Super Turbo in the country. And I placed, out of like the 6 that I went to, or 5 I went to, I placed it all but 1. There was one that I did poorly because it was on arcade cabinet. And I was so far removed from playing on arcade controls that I actually sucked. And I failed and died a lot. Didn't do well. But everyone that was on my joystick, I did really well and placed. So I had qualifying spots, like 6 seeds at Evo because I did so well. Were any of those matches recorded? None. None of them. None of my actual tournament winning performances were never recorded or broadcast. It's only, you know, very few. So it's like, how could I possibly go through my history as a Street Fighter player when that was before the era of Twitch? It doesn't exist. No one archived it, right? Oh, wait. Jade wants to know what's the story of the Little Mac in my background. Oh, he doesn't want to know the story of Little Mac. He wants to know the story of this piece of art. This is one of the earliest pieces of art I ever bought. Back when I was just becoming a prominent YouTuber. So probably around the years of like 2011-ish when I started making money on YouTube. I started traveling and going to video game conventions such as Too Many Games in Pennsylvania, Connecticut, obviously in Connecticut, New York Comic Con, and the like. And when I started traveling to those, they had things called artists' alleys, where people who liked video games would make artwork and merchandise that tied into it. So you would see stuff like this just sitting there, and I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. I love Punch-Out. I played it as a kid. Great game. Awesome piece of art. I would love to have that in my living room. If I had it, I could have it in videos and stuff. And so you would basically ask them, you know, what are you selling it for? Make an offer. And that's where I got all these pieces of artwork that are in my background. They're all over a decade old. This one in particular, A. Dingleman 2009. So this, I remember This particular one is from a female artist. I can't remember her name. Starts with A. Maybe it was Amy Dingelman. And it was painted in 2009. It says it right on there, 2009. So this is a 15-year-old painting that for many years was just sitting in, in my condo in Connecticut, hanging in the background. And now I'm able to use it on streams in the modern day. Pretty awesome, you know? Yeah. Oh yeah, it's handmade. That's not a print. That's handmade. It's hand painted. Yep. All the stuff I have is hand painted. This isn't prints or anything that I bought. This is all handmade art and stuff. Oh, I hit my camera again. Yeah, I did. This is all handmade art that I bought over the years at like gaming conventions and stuff. Yeah. Pretty cool, right? Because again, this was used to be in the backgrounds of my videos and stuff when I lived in Connecticut. When I moved here, I kind of like just put it in a closet. And then like in 2017, I decided I'd hang it in my hallway. And then when I started doing these more better backgrounds with this better webcam a couple years ago, I said, man, I got to get better backgrounds. What could I put back there? And at first it was just like the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X boxes. And people were like, nah, that's not very good. So then I said, oh, wait a minute. I got all this art just sitting around for years and years. Why not use that? Right? So now I alternate out art with those, I got the blame it on the lag thing that I put there and stuff, right? Okie dokie. 2 months as a member says, would you like me to donate Epic Mickey and Dead Rising? That's up to you. That's totally up to you. Yeah, if you donate them, I will play them. Will I play them fully and commit to a full playthrough? If I like them. If I start playing them and I don't like them and the audience doesn't like them, then no. But if you were to donate those games, yeah, I would definitely consider doing playthroughs. And at the very least, I would try them and see how they play for, experimental purposes for sure. Yes, I've been inside the Space Needle. Twice. The first time I went inside the Space Needle was when I was scouting for homes. And I was here 10 years ago on a vacation looking at homes in the area. And that was pretty nice. And then the last time I went with Kat when she had moved in with me, and they were renovating the goddamn thing. They didn't say that when you bought the tickets. They're assholes. They lied. And we're like, oh yeah, it's open. Then you go in there and half of it was closed and wooden and shit because they didn't want to lose profit. So they basically were very underhanded about it. And it wasn't very fun because you couldn't really see all the sites you wanted to see up there because it was all closed off. So I was pretty pissed off about that. And then we haven't been back. We want to go back. But Seattle is I'm going to be honest, it's crime riddled and it's not a good place to be. It's really bad right now. They need to fix their shit. And they're not fixing it right now. It's been bad for like 4+ years. And we just have no desire to go there until they clean up their act. We're not going to go there and be hassled by criminals and shit. So we're waiting until it gets better and then we want to go back again. Is there a restaurant on top of the Space Needle? I think there was. I think so, yes. Okay. All right, guys, anything else? Now, the podcast has literally gone as long as it usually does, even though we didn't have much to talk about, which is weird, quite frankly. So I guess maybe we should end it, and let's get set up for Street Fighter, shall we? All right, so thank you, guys. For those just here for the podcast, thanks for hanging out with me. I would love if you would stick around for Street Fighter, but I know many of you probably will not, and that's okay. Tomorrow we get back into the full-time gaming with more Shadow of the Erdtree and Stardew Valley. So you can come back tomorrow for a full day of gaming. For those who like Street Fighter and want to see me climb the ranks, stick around. Hopefully I do well. We'll see what happens. Hope for the best. But, all right, guys, thank you so much. And, of course, tomorrow on the show, I'll give everyone a full update on how the Bison Madness went. Bison Madness today. Very excited for it. And I will see you all tomorrow for another episode of the Level 1 Podcast.